Yafa, good to see you. Yafa, Chaplain Sandra Mitchell, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Welcome, welcome, and good evening, everyone. Good evening. I'm Derek Perkinson with the National Action Network, civil rights organization started 31 years ago by our founder and president, Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton. And tonight, it is my pleasure and honor to present to you the National Action Network, NAN Youth Huddle, NAN New York City Chapter, NAN Arts and Culture Committee, and the NAN Performing Activists presents NAN's and Arts and Culture's Chairman Arnold Pinnix original play, The Peacemaker. This is a stage reading, also known as a stage reading, and it is a form of theater without sets or full costumes. The actors who read the scripts may be seated, stand in fixed positions, or incorporate minimal stage movement. So I hope you all enjoy if this is your first time. Tonight's stage reading will be performed by the one and only Dominique Sharpton, as debuting as Coretta Scott King, and Ashley Sharpton as the Black Power Advocate. NAN performing activist Lorenzo Vaughn is Martin Luther King. Cindy is Alberta King, and A. Gregory Harris is the spirit of King who is not at peace and continues to march for justice in the spirit world till his dream of peace and racial equality is realized. And we also welcome Chaplain Sandra Mitchell, who's production manager, and Shanika Powers. So now, without further ado, I bring to you our stage reading in memory and honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who will be celebrating his holiday tomorrow here at the House of Justice. I bring to you The Peacemaker.
Soon and very soon, we are going to see the King. Soon and very soon, we are going to see the King. Soon and very soon, we are going to see the King. Hallelujah, hallelujah, we're going to see the King.
The Peacemaker, a play in 2 acts by Arnold Pinnix. Cast of characters in order of appearance: Martin Luther King Jr., Coretta Scott King, Daddy King, Reverend Samuel Piles, Ralph Abernathy, Alberta King, Mary Powell, Waitress, Young King, Philip Leonard, congregants and choir members. Theme: the lifetime of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Time: 1930s through 1960s. Act 1. Setting: a basically bare stage with only a few set pieces. A projection screen is placed center stage. Act Rise: the voice of Mahalia Jackson is heard singing as voice fades and lights gradually fade up, and the spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is first heard, then seen humming. He sings, "No Ways Tired." When he becomes aware of the audience, he stops singing to speak as narrator.
Don't feel no waste time. Take me back to where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be sweeter. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. I I am called a peacemaker, but I am not at peace. For I have seen terrorism as a major form of violence. And I see the children of South Africa crying for help and dying of hunger with racial prejudice consuming the land. I am called a peacemaker, but I am not at peace. This personal struggle was ongoing throughout my mortal life, even from the very beginning of my existence.
Daddy King enters in Alberta.
I don't want to hear now, Alberta. I said I don't want to hear it now, Alberta.
Senior, that boy is my boy is in mama's room crying, his eyes out.
Alberta, not now.
You didn't have to hit him so hard. He's just a baby.
That's all the more reason for me to knock some sense into him now.
You don't know as well, you know as well as I do. That child didn't mean what he said in Sunday school.
I don't care what he meant. The fact is, he said it. That boy stood up in my church and denounced the resurrection of Jesus. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with the boy.
Senior, can't you see the boy is confused? You're putting too much pressure on him.
He's supposed to have pressure on him. He's my son.
And that's supposed to make it right?
What I'm saying is that we have a responsibility to set the example for the rest. Now, you know this yourself, Alberta. Your daddy felt the same way I do.
I know. That's why I know how this boy is feeling right now.
All I want is for the boy to live up to his full potential.
What you mean is you want him to live up to what you want him to be.
I didn't say that.
No, but that's what you mean. I just feel what happened in Sunday school was only something to get your attention.
Well, he'll get all the attention he wants if I hear tell of it again.
All I'm asking for you to do is to sit down with the boy and talk to him like his father and his son should. That's all I'm asking. He comes in the kitchen talking to me all the time.
Well, good, you talking to him. I said all I'm going to say.
That's the problem, King. You're talking at him instead of to him.
All right, honey buns, ain't no need to cry.
I'm worried about him, King.
I'm worried about him too. I just show it in a different way. And this temper of mine don't help none either.
I know you care about him, but he needs to see that you care. Just talk to him, okay?
Okay, I'll try. You say he's in Mama Williams' room?
Uh-huh. I told Mama to keep an eye on him while I came out here to talk with you.
What's that I smell?
Oh, Lord, my sweet potato pies. We selling dinners at the church tomorrow, and I can't have no plain pies. You know how they talk. Honey, hurry up and catch Junior before he leaves to play football. He's playing too rough, King. Piling on is what the children say, and talk to him about hitting on AD. They brothers. They shouldn't be fighting like that.
All right.
As Daddy and Alberta exit,
Lord, my pies.
Spirit of King narrates.
I had a problem. I was torn between my respect and love for this man. Now, I had this desperate need for independence to express myself, so I began to rebel indirectly. He was pressuring me to become a minister and succeed him at Ebenezer, thus keeping the pastorship in the family. I didn't want to do this, and I let it be known that I would not be told what to do, and I would not follow in his footsteps. Indirectly, of course, I had a problem, but I'm not crazy. Seemed I had a lot of anger in me. Well, I would take it out on everybody. While in football, I competed so ferociously that my friends couldn't tell whether I was playing or fighting. I was notorious for piling on, and in basketball, I refused to pass and shot every time I got the ball. Also, I had my share of fights excelling in what we call middle-class combat. I preferred negotiation to fists, but if negotiations failed, I'd say, let's take it to the grass. I could out-wrestle anybody in our little gang. But most memorable in my life was when my voice began to change. It seemed to command attention when I spoke. I discovered something else about my voice. The girls like to hear me talk, and believe me, I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I'd say, your beauty caused the Rubicon to part, and men to meet their Waterloos. And no one could touch me on the dance floor either. Well, I was considered the best jitterbug in Georgia.
He dances a few jitterbug steps.
Ah! It's your turn next. Being I was still a very young man, I went dancing. It was felt that this was unacceptable behavior for a preacher.
Daddy King and Martin, as teenagers, entered.
Martin, look at me when I'm talking to you. Son, don't you know the Baptist doctrine frowns upon public dancing, especially by a preacher?
Daddy, that's only a rule. I don't believe I will not be allowed into heaven because I went dancing.
No 17-year-old child gonna sit up here and tell me what he believes. You will respect what I say and do what I say.
I can't live the way you want me to. Why is it that I could never do or say anything right? Huh, Daddy? I mean, it's like I've committed some kind of crime.
I don't have to listen to...
Daddy, please, for once in my life, listen to what I have to say. I don't understand.
You will do as I say, and that's the end of it.
As long as I'm giving praises to my true father, that should be the only doctrine that it takes to serve as a pastor. This is what I believe. Daddy, I am not a child.
Then act like you got some sense and accept responsibility.
Whose responsibility?
You ain't never too grown for me to slap you down.
Daddy, I didn't mean...
Shut up and listen. You was the one who decided to become a pastor. So as a pastor, you will uphold the pride and dignity expected of a pastor.
Daddy, I never wanted to disrespect.
Oh, you already have. Your conduct reflects me. And until you are under the roof of your own church and your own congregation, you will abide by my rules. No dancing.
Daddy and Martin exit. Spirit of King narrates.
The following Sunday, Daddy King made me stand up before the entire congregation and apologize. This moment stands alone as the most humiliating moment of my life. I attended Morehouse College and finished with a degree in sociology. I had decided to study for a BA in divinity at Crozer Seminary in Pennsylvania. As usual, Daddy had a few words to say.
Martin enters sporting a sharp tweed coat. Daddy enters reading letter.
You wanted to see me, Daddy?
That's a new code, isn't it?
Yes, I got it yesterday. The salesman said it was the finest tweed in the store.
I don't like it. Take it back.
I can't. All sales are fine.
Don't wear that coat in this house.
Daddy, it's more than the coat.
You heard what I said.
You're upset about my going to the seminary.
Son, you don't have to go all the way to Pennsylvania.
I chose Crozer because that's where I wanted to go.
What about the young lady you're leaving behind?
Daddy, I've got to get going.
Son, I'm willing to help take care of her.
I'm not ready for marriage. I just want to get away.
Get away from who? From me?
That's not what I said.
You ingrate.
I have the right to wear what I want to wear. I have the right to choose who I am to marry. I have the right to attend school of my choice.
I tell you what, you just go on to your school and get out of this house before I lose my religion.
As Daddy King exits,
Daddy, stop walking out on me.
lights stayed down on Martin.